Welcome to Unwinding with Support Group, a mental health podcast by licensed professionals where we discuss mental health topics from a real-world perspective, all while having a drink. So hang out, have some laughs, enjoy the ride, and maybe learn a bit. Welcome to another episode of Unwinding with the Support Group. Per usual, I'm Arlene. I'm an LPC. Today, I got spicy and I have fruit punch Kool-Aid.
Ooh.
That's my beverage today, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Fruit punch Kool-Aid. No alcohol in it. Mostly because I was concerned that it would taste bad.
Probably.
So it's got Kool-Aid. With me today, I have Bree, who works in the mental health field.
Hello. Today I have cherry Pepsi.
Ooh.
And cherry peppers.
Ooh.
Well. All right. And also have Kelly, who is an LPC as well.
And I have water and an old-fashioned.
Perfect. Well, today's topic, we're going to talk about loneliness. And not just gender-specific loneliness, but loneliness in general. Specifically more probably loneliness in the United States. But, this isn't necessarily precluding anywhere else. So I will get us started with the simple fact that when we discuss loneliness, it is the idea of not being connected to other people, not being alone, because you can be around people and still feel lonely. Loneliness is the absence of connection to people. That's generally how we define that. And that connection can be different. You can do it based on hobbies and interests and, love, platonic love, all of those things. So that's generally how we're going to frame loneliness today, is by the connection. As we talk about, is there a difference between men being lonely and women being lonely? Or are we just fucking lonely? So, on that fun, anybody got something they want to add? We'll start with? No? Crickets. Fucking crickets.
Hear the song Lonely in my... Lonely.
Oh,
I'm
no.
so lonely. In my head right now.
I just need you to know, I guess I'm happy I'm not the only person who brain operates in song lyrics.
Oh, see, I look at, I come at things from an existential standpoint, and I think of the deep existential loneliness of, I can be in a room full of people and I'm so disconnected. Not me, just general. But sometimes me. Be in a room full of people and just be completely disconnected and, just not vibing. And I feel like that's just the world we live in. And I think we've all been there. We all know what it's like to feel that disconnect on some level. And I don't know, maybe it got a little amplified when it came to the pandemic, perhaps, when we were all home. Some of us who are introverts do better with it, perhaps, because we're cool with...
We want to be alone.
Yeah, we're cool with time by ourselves. But again, like you said, we're not talking about being alone as much as it is a disconnect, a feeling of being unable to connect with other humans on one level, multiple levels, etc.
I think you're... Oh, go ahead, Bree.
I think it's an interesting point you said, in this day that we live in, sort of, or whatever your exact wording was. But I do think that the whole idea of social media and the pandemic and the way that we've adapted to both of those really awful big things has made even sitting in a crowded room and feeling lonely much more common than I think maybe I'm wrong, but than it used to be. I feel like, people used to talk about how you could just go to a sports bar and meet people and it would be great and everybody's fun and having a great time. And I feel like that doesn't happen the same anymore. And people are much more isolated even when they're not alone.
Mm.
Yeah, I would agree. I think what's interesting is like you guys brought up COVID and how that amplified it because we were intentionally isolating. And for some people, that was a good time, and for other people, it was a catastrophically bad time. And being able to recognize that the idea of feeling lonely was starting to become like a national problem before COVID. COVID just made it worse, right? I think when we discuss COVID in a mental health lens, COVID made everything worse mental health wise.
Yeah.
But it also made one good thing happen, is that there became a global topic about mental health in a way that never happened before. So pros and cons. Um, of billions of people dying. I'm kidding, 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 kidding. But there were pros and cons of like lockdown.
Mhm.
But I think one of the biggest cons is like recognizing that people started to feel anxiety and depression in ways that they hadn't before, even people who previously weren't prone to these things. And how that's now playing a part in everything feels like it's distant. And AI is only making that going to exponentially compound this.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a really good point because every every morning, um, when I wake up, I because I have OCD, I'm, you know, also a creature of habit. I wake up, I say hello to my dogs, and I scroll through my feed for a second. I always see this ad for your alien best friend, an AI companion that talks to you. And I am both equally intrigued and appalled by it at the same time. I have not yet downloaded it, but guarantee you that I will just to try it out because I can't, I don't want to knock it before I try it. But it talks back to you. And I'm a little on the fence about that because I could see it's the same as people talking to Chat GPT, Chatty Boy, what I call Chat GPT. I'm talking to Chatty Boy. Uh, but the problem is that with AI, we are feeding the AI the information and it's repeating it, it's learning us, so it's not the same as human connection. It's not the same as, building a relationship with others. But can it take the place of that for some people? I don't know, maybe. Studies are being done, I hope, question mark. I know, runs to PubMed right now, um, runs to APA, just to see if, people are looking into, is AI affecting, percentage of loneliness in people?
I think it certainly is
I
messing with people's expectations
Yeah, for sure.
of what like a relationship might look like. Just because this person is, or this, when you're with a real human, they're gonna have their own kind of personality, their own thoughts, whatever. And when you're with AI, it's just mirroring whatever, you're kind of putting into it. It's making itself into the ideal AI version that you're looking for. And I do feel like it's like messing with expectations, which in turn would make you lonelier because you feel like you can't connect with people who you otherwise probably would have if you didn't have this fake version in your head of what people should be like.
You are correct. Building off of what AI overview just typed in from the APA, APA indicates that while AI can provide companionship, frequent interaction with AI systems often increases loneliness, insomnia, and after work drinking. It acts as a digital painkiller that may alleviate short-term isolation, but risks fostering dependence, reducing human connection, and weakening social skills. You are spot on.
Look at the big brain on Brie.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
And they call it like
Most of the time.
they call it like Bree was talking about the replacement effect.
Well, I think along the same lines, if we go back to like how fast robotics and AI are moving, like this is only a matter of time before there are robot AIs walking around. Um, it's coming. But the truth of it is like if even we go back, like technology is the leading cause of loneliness. Harvard did a study on loneliness a
Mm-hmm.
couple years ago, about a year and a half ago ish. And the top result, what contributes to loneliness is technology, followed by families not spending enough time together, then people working too much, and then mental health struggles. And mental health was 60%, while most of everything else was 73%. So I need you to understand like these are high numbers where technology is already being attributed to loneliness. And as we continue to go, I do think that's going to be it's just it's going to compound exponentially. I think there's a couple things. I believe technology has definitely hindered social connections in real life. It took everything I had not to go IRL. Um,
I caught that.
sorry, I was like,
BRB.
sorry. But um, that the other pieces are, I think, like there's also this piece of like recognizing uh, just how much we've taken a step back in wanting to connect with people in general, right? It there's a shift in our society, and I think this is the underlying piece, where women have not reached any level of equity or equality in a totality way. But women are making choices now to stay single longer, to engage in things that they enjoy, like go to college, start a job, do these things, versus, in the 1960s, in the 1900s, women got married really young because we weren't allowed to own shit. So we had to. You went from your parents' house to your husband's house, right? Like that was a thing. And over time, like that has shifted. And so the normal in quotes ways of how, humans were forced to interact no longer is a thing. And God, we spent a generation prepping women how to be independent, but not talking to men about how to adjust to that.
Oh, that's a good point.
We expected men to be the same. We didn't teach them as a society to be different, right? And so what you're seeing now, I think, is the culmination of that. Women are going a path in general. Women go a path, and men are still on the same path. Now they're starting to veer. We're talking about mental health more, and they're making, but the change is not proportionate. And so you're looking at something where we haven't given men the tools to change with the fact that women don't need them anymore.
That's a really good point. I think we're also continuing to give out mixed messages, like dichotomous messages to both, or to all genders.
Mm-hmm.
Not just both, all genders
Yeah.
on the spectrum. Um, like be this, be that, you don't exist, you do, like all of these different things. And like you don't feel, you're hysterical. Um,
Lobotomy.
I know, right? Let's asylum you for that. Um,
I'm sorry, you had an opinion?
Oh no, they're coming for me, aren't they? Um, but like for men, stoicism was very, very highly pronounced. And it was like you don't feel, I listened to this TikTok tonight that Rob shared with me, and it was a very good TikTok where this gentleman, I can't remember his name, I can look it up and we can put it in the comments later. But he was talking about when boys were younger, they were like, I love you. I love my best friend, my best friend. And then as they got older, it was kind of like, drilled out of them. You don't do that. You're stoic, and so on and so forth. And so you don't have these emotions, you don't have or build these connections, et cetera, et cetera. And then for women, it was the opposite. And then there comes the mixed message where some women received that message. So, like for myself, I was taught to be stoic. I was taught that I should keep my emotions inward and, not show them. And, you know,
Big girls don't cry.
right, exactly. You're being hysterical. Don't do that. And what we find is that nobody knows what to do with their emotions. And we have a societal component from the 60s or the 50s and so on and so forth that says it's supposed to be this way. And then women are, like you're saying, are becoming more independent, but we haven't, explained to men how to deal with that. But my question is it our place?
You mean as a society? Yes. Is it our
No,
place as an individual? No.
right. But as women, who is
Oh, girl, we've been doing that.
I know,
That's
right?
the emotional labor we've been doing for 100 years.
But they ain't listening, and that's the thing. Who are they gonna listen to?
They're dads. They need to start, which is actually brings me to that where you're going is that the younger men, younger millennials, at the older version of Gen Z, all adults now, are much more communicative about their emotions, uh, en masse, not each male, but they're more communicative. They're more like open to the concept of I have more feelings than anger and
Yes,
happiness. So like that is breaking, and that's positive, but that's where it starts. Is it has to be men talking to men because men don't listen to women, especially now.
unless
Um,
they're therapists in that role.
I mean, and then maybe they listen,
but only a little.
but only a little. And I mean
Exactly.
that as a therapist,
Same.
because how many times have I told somebody you shouldn't go do that? And then they go do it, and then they come back and be like, you know that thing that you told me not to do? Yeah, I
Did
did
it?
it. And I'm like, how'd that go? And they're like, trash. And I was like, yeah, I figured.
Uh-huh.
Crazy. It's almost like I said not to do that. So being able to like recognize, and I don't mean to just say men don't listen, like in general, but like when we're talking about like the totality of changing ingrained belief systems, that takes a lot. And
Yes.
so the most receptive people men will be to are other men, right? Um, and I will give the opposite example of what I'm talking about. Andrew Tate, right? He is the opposite spectrum of what we're discussing, but men listen.
Hmm.
Men listen to other men. And I get it, right? So it's being coming from a place of, you know, similarness. So being able to navigate to that place, but the curve is so steep at this point. Women have gotten further in the separateness of I don't need you. I don't need to carry your load. Matter of fact, that sounds like a fucking you problem. Sucks to suck type of mentality where men are behind the curve in the emotional IQ department growth stages. Not that every man. Again, I'm speaking in general terms, not
Mhm.
in disparaging every human that belongs to these groups. Or that there are some women who are still behind the curve, right? Like both things exist. But just being able to recognize that like this is the trajectory of how things are going and how they've been going, which is also why I think we've ended up in the place of removing women's rights again.
Yes.
Didn't teach men how to adjust to women telling them to fuck off.
No, that's fair. And if we were to switch it for a second and look, because I think what we're talking about loosely is the what has become on social media the epidemic, and I air quoting right now.
The male loneliness epidemic.
YouTube. Yes, air quoting YouTube. Um, Peer pressure.
Here we go with the peer pressure again. We're here it is. It's coming every fucking episode.
I love you. Um, but the the women's loneliness epidemic and the men's loneliness epidemic and what have you.
Wait, hold please. Did you
Yeah.
just say there's a women's loneliness epidemic? I mean, this is not something that gets talked about on social media like daily.
Oh, but it is on TikTok.
Ooh, because
Yes,
it's a thing.
it is actually a thing, and I just went down a rabbit hole with it tonight, actually. And it was quite enlightening because it was talking about the men's loneliness epidemic.
There's a loneliness epidemic. Can we sum this up? But I'm I've thought about this for a while. So hence the reason we're doing an episode on it. My take
Hmm.
is the male loneliness epidemic and the women loneliness epidemic are at core different because men are looking for something different than women are looking for something different. And to elaborate to the people at home in their car, at work, wherever you are, on the moon, I don't know. But what I'm saying is when you listen to the male loneliness epidemic, what is the general theme? A partner.
But it's a specific type of
It's
partner.
romantic. I want a significant other. I don't want to do this by myself. I want a partner. I want a woman. I want a date. I want to love and flowers and the male version of that. Um, but women want friends.
Mhm.
Women want to go out and hang out with friends. They want to meet friends. They want to connect. They want to be social. They want that connection. And that's the disconnect because the loneliness is coming from two different aspects. It's still connection, just different connection.
Mhm. Bree, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it explains a lot why there's such like a disconnect between men and women right now. Not that it's like exclusive to right now, but just like I don't know, I feel like you said, Arlene, like men are trying to find a partner and women are trying to find friends. So why would you expect a woman who's just trying to find a friend to be friends with a man who doesn't believe that men and women can even be friends? And then it kind of creates like such a wedge between them, and in that wedge is bound to create anger and frustration. And I don't know about anybody else, but usually when I get angry and frustrated, that's when I start to feel the loneliest because I don't feel like I can have any sort of strong connection with somebody else. Um, Whether that be a friendship or a romantic ship. Um, it just doesn't work because you're just on edge. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
No, I feel you.
No, I think like you're talking to like the emotional intensity of like, okay, this is happening. And now, on your normal day to day, like, okay, I'm just going about my shit, right? Go to work, do my daily, blah, blah, blah. and then it's the quiet times or the most distressing times where like it's coming through. And man, wouldn't it be great if I had a friend right now? Not, man, would it be great if I had a partner right now? And I think for women, that's the distinction. And then, like you said, Brie, it's like men are like, "Hey, let's do this thing," and women are like, "Okay, but I don't want to." And we just be friends, and I don't. We just be friends. See what happens. Just be friends. Just stay friends, and that's a hard concept um, for a man who's looking for a partner because that's not what you want. This is why the friend zone gets thrown around.
Well, I feel like it's so
Ooh,
much easier for men to make friends too that they don't know what it feels like to not have very many that are close to you. So they're trying to fill what that last like void in their life. I swear, every time I talk, like a semi truck drives by. So I'm sorry.
That's hilarious.
But I don't know, I feel like when you speak with most men, their friend group looks a lot different than when you speak with most women. And most women's friends, they maybe have one or two very close people in their lives. When most men, at least in my experience, have a plethora of friends and people that they see and talk to all the time, whether they realize it or not. Because I think some men don't realize that. Um, but that void is being filled by all of their platonic friends, and they kind of aren't missing that, but women are missing that. And I think that that friendship aspect is so much, it feeds so much more into your loneliness than just like a romantic partner. I mean, that's like nice, but it's not inevitable. But humans are social creatures. So if you only have one or two good friends, then that's not enough to kind of fill your social bubble.
and bouncing off of that, something that what you were talking about kind of stuck out to me is that I feel like women don't feel overarchingly. And again, I do want to preface that we're not talking about all people, but women overarchingly don't need or feel like we need to be taken care of always. Um, you know, there's the idea of the provider and the traditional air quotes again, but you know, there's still that, we can, take care of certain things ourselves. Whereas, there's this idea that's been built into society where men have to provide for, and so they have their friend group, but they still have to provide for a partner based upon society's, you know, mores and norms. And women just want friends. We can provide for ourselves if we need to. Like Arlene, you were saying, men weren't taught about women becoming independent, which means that we can provide for ourselves. Men are still, you know, the idea is there of being the provider. Um, so they have their friend group, and we're over here like we just want to talk and hang out, and we don't need to develop anything yet.
Yeah. Which, like, when it comes down to it, right, being able to recognize why you're lonely or what's feeling that, like, is important because it's how you address it, right? Right. If you're like, oh, I'm lonely and I just jump on Tinder, that's you're not gonna get. You're still gonna be lonely.
Mhm.
You'll feel a momentary need, but that's not gonna fill it in the long term because what you're looking for is real, honest connection.
Mhm.
And we both, we all know at this point. I said we both, like the audience is sitting in front of me. We both know. Um, we all know that dating sites now are just hookup spots.
Yes.
So really recognize it. So
Well, yeah, one thing that I've noticed in this discussion too is that in so many ways this feels like a very delicate topic in its own right, like the difference between, you know, genders and how they perceive loneliness and I mean, if there's a political component to it, there's a social component to it, there's an emotional component to it, there's an intellectual component to it. There are so many different components to it. It just seems like it's a very delicate conversation to talk about loneliness. And I'm kind of curious as to why, because at the end of the day, in my mind, I go back to we all experience existential loneliness, which is we're all here on this planet experiencing life alone. And we move through life together and we collect people, hopefully, and we connect to people, hopefully, and we make these bonds. And sometimes I think we make it way too hard. And one thing that I want to touch on that I think is kind of important is in preparing for our discussion and looking into it a little bit further, I learned that there is a lot of animosity that comes out of the idea of loneliness, that groups of people develop animosity towards other groups of people as a result of the loneliness. And, it's on both sides, or all sides, rather, I should say. Instead of like working toward coming up with a solution of, hey, where can we meet in the middle? It's like, oh, I'm lonely because this, and I'm just going to break it down just to make it simpler, male and female for a second. I'm lonely because the women aren't attracted to me and they won't date me. I'm lonely because the men are really not giving us their best specimen, for lack of a better term. And we forget that we're all just kind of floating here together on a ball.
We're floating on a rock in
Yeah.
space. If
Yeah.
you believe in space, and we're all gonna die at some point.
Right? And we're all sad and at times and lonely, and here we are. Experiencing the existential loneliness. But that's the truth of it, is that we all experience this loneliness.
Yeah. If you believe in space.
People don't believe in space?
Did I not tell you guys that?
No. I know that people believe the world is flat. People don't believe in space.
What do they think's up there?
This is a great question I don't have an answer for, but it was literally the thing that took my fucking week. When
Wait,
somebody
what?
shared this, somebody shared this in one of my sessions, that their sister significant other doesn't believe in space, and my first thought was like physical space, but no, space,
outer space. I just like, what does he think is up there?
I have no
Just
idea.
Blue? It's just blue up there?
I don't know, but this was important because I had questions that I didn't want to ask, but I wanted answers to.
I would like to speak to said partner just to get some questions answered.
Same.
Yeah, but do you want those answers?
I mean, no, but yes.
See, that's where I got stuck. Like, no, but yes, because then I would be like, I have more questions. I know me. I'd have more questions.
I'm still stuck on people don't believe that space exists. But
that's a lonely existence.
That is a lonely existence. Oh, see, I mean, speaking of
I
lonely,
know I fucked you guys up with this one because I need you to know it stopped my brain too when it happened.
I think of all these like movies, like Interstellar is one of my favorite movies. And when, spoiler alert, pause right now if you haven't seen Interstellar. Pause it.
Oh no, oh no.
Pause it. When McConaughey throws himself into the black hole by himself, I'm like, oh God, what's gonna happen? He's gonna be alone forever because nobody knows. But anyway, like just the idea of being alone by yourself in space of all places, um, where there's no one. There's literally no one that you can connect with.
that
And
we know of.
right, exactly, that we know of, precisely. And we're down here arguing over whether or not, people are like suitable because they fit a certain mold or, you know, I'm trying to be should I'm trying to be PC here. I've got the eye. I just got the eye.
I love it. I'm trying to be PC here. This really?
Okay, but Stepford wives shit, like trad, the trad wife stuff, like that is where a lot of the loneliness epidemic incel stuff, that the part that I was talking about that tends to veer, and I think it was like 21 to 27% that I found. Don't quote me on that. I can Google it here in a second if I needed to. Tends to go when they feel slighted by women. It's like, you could be in space, bro, where there are no women.
Right? Um, you could, right? Like but so here's the thing of like where I guess I want to recognizing. I think what I want to say, God, I'm stumbling over words are hard today. Um, is this if you can understand what you're feeling behind the loneliness, it means you can then tackle it better, right? If
Yes.
you understand why you're not connecting with someone, then it helps you to address it better, right? um, we can recognize that post-COVID social anxiety has exponentially grown because we were isolated, and then we did all these very interesting things to avoid people, which, by the way, if we could go back to 6 feet away from each other in the grocery store, I would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
I don't need your
On a
cart.
beach.
I don't need your cart in my ass.
I don't understand why of all the things we held on to, that one we just were like, okay, we can part with that. I would like to go 10 feet away in the grocery store,
Thank
please.
you.
6 feet, 6 feet, guys. I don't need your cart in my ass. I swear to God, I don't. Or you
And
breathing in my neck.
That's the one. If I can hear your conversation better than I can hear my own thoughts, we have a problem.
So I really wish you would have kept that one. Man, I was really hoping we would have kept that one. Of all the things, that's the thing I wish would have stayed.
you remember when they cordoned off the beach though?
Yeah.
That was nice.
See? Listen, I just want my own spot in my own space. And you can't come 6 feet around me. So sorry. That was great. That was perfect social bubble for me. That was my bubble. And so finally everybody was like respecting it because they had to.
Hmm.
I loved it. It's great. Um, see pros and cons. Um, but recognizing that the social anxiety piece has grown um as a result. And so this also factors into that. Um, I think Bree said it was a loss of social skills,
Hmm.
uh, and having to relearn that interaction, um, and how to approach people and do those things. On the flip side, we talked about how AI was a problem. Let me tell you what I've discovered is AI is actually creating as a good thing. The younger peoples, the children, are also pushing back against AI.
Yeah.
And they're doing more analog things. So instead of all the social media, let's meet, let's just talk, it's let's meet in public. Let's go reconnect. Let's do these things. Instead of let's draw all our digital art, it's getting back to painting and drawing and writing is writing again instead of like typing or AIing it or things like that. So it's actually having a pushback in a positive direction of an increasing physical, like in-person contact. Um, because I think Gen Z specifically has grown up so screen centered, that for them in early adulthood, they're stepping away from that in very concrete ways of I want to connect with the people,
That makes sense.
which AI is fostering again a harder push in that of like I'm not doing that. So there's some positive things I see going on, which I think is amazing. In that direction because Bree said it, we're social creatures, right? We want human connection. We do. We want to know we have a tribe. We want to know we have people. We want that. And if we don't have it, it sucks. Technology is great. We're all in a different state and we're all friends, but it would be super cool if we all lived down the road from each other, right?
Well,
Which is, I'm not saying it's impossible for us to see each other. It's just, not like we can, I'm driving to Colorado. Fuck it. Here we go.
Please do. I can't just ride my horse to your house, Arlene.
Damn it.
oh,
Fortunately,
you have a horse? Please tell me.
I'm actually terrified of horses.
Oh, never mind then.
Wait, Kelly was like, on a horse? Yes,
On a
please.
horse. Yeah, I keep my horse in my apartment. It stays in the bathroom, and I stay in the bedroom.
Listen,
Right. Right.
I
Her horse gets along with her cats really well.
I have clients who have horses, so they keep them everywhere. I don't know.
That was fantastic. Bree's got a big horse. She's got a draft horse too. She got like a Clydesdale. It's
Yes.
really cute. It's like 3 times the size of her. It's fantastic. She's trying to get it labeled as an emotional support animal.
I will write you that
Poor
letter.
horse.
I will write that letter for you.
I'm gonna need it because I swear I'm so scared of horses. They're so scary.
Oh, really? I love horses. I've only gotten thrown off them numerous times in my life, and I'll do it again.
I mean, they're magnificent creatures, but terrify me. I can admire them from afar, but I don't want to be up close, you know?
Oh, okay. So you're like Trenton. So when we went to Mackinac a couple of years ago, we were on the island, and the people are riding their horses around the island, and he's like super excited to see them. And the lady was like, "Oh," like saw him all excited in his chair, and then she walked up and put the horse like in front of him so he could pet it, and he freaked the fuck out.
Yep, precisely.
He was like, nope, that thing is fucking giant. Get it the fuck out of my face."
Trenton's a smart boy.
I
Very
was
smart.
dead. I was dying. Because he was like, "It's a horse," and so excited. Horse's face and his, "Oh, fuck you."
Yeah.
It's a big fuck you. I'm so good.
I love that.
It
You know, there's an island, speaking of islands, in Montana, I think it is. It's the Wild Horse Island, and there's just a bunch of wild horses that just wander around.
was
We have something like that in Southwest Virginia, the Grayson Highlands National Park, and they do that there too.
That's
Do you
incredible.
know that there's an island where there's just like stray cats that you
Where?
can get paid to go live there?
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Like by Greece, I think. You get
What?
paid to live there and take care of the island full of stray cats.
What am I doing in America?
I don't know, Bree.
Where's the one for dogs and foxes, though?
I don't know, Bree, but that's got your name
That's
written all over it.
Breeze Island.
Bree's Island for lonely cats.
Oh man,
Yeah, they'll pay you to live there.
that's incredible.
And it's
I know.
Greece, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's close to there.
Yeah.
Let me double check.
Greece is my motherland. See, as long as I have my dogs, I'm never lonely,
I feel that.
right?
It's called Cyros?
Are you looking too?
Oh yeah. You feed, socialize, and clean up around 50 stray cats.
Aw.
Yep. Yeah, it's the Greek island of Cyros. Yep. There you go.
Wow.
See? Perfect job.
50 of them. Let's get more.
Bree's like, only 50?
Only 50. That's not enough.
I'll send her over there with
First,
blueberry Red Bull. Red Bull, by the way, as I'm gonna annoy Red Bull like I do with the YouTube for Brie, and we'll get her to Cyrus.
Red Bull
listen,
is
first of all,
on
she's
my
like, listen, I'm
shit
gonna bring my
list.
cats, these cats, and I will round up all the other cats I can find and ferry them bitches over.
I mean, 50 really isn't that much when you think about it. Between me and the couple of friends I have, I bet you we all have 50 cats combined. So, I mean,
Okay,
honestly,
wait. You have 3, I have 4.
my friend Chloe has 3 also. We've joked about like we would move back in together because she used to be my roommate, and then our other friend who also has 3 cats would live with us, and then we'd have 9 cats in one house.
That's a lot of cats.
It's a lot of
Cat,
cats.
cat bunnies multiplying.
Exactly.
It's a lot of cats in one house. But 50 cats on an island? That's like nothing.
That's none at all. It's a whole island.
It's a whole island. They could go fishing. They could go swimming. You can
I-
go swimming.
Nice.
I'm just saying, lots of things can occur.
Yeah.
In Greece too, man.
Right?
How do
My,
I sign up? That's what
my
I need.
motherland.
She's over here like, excuse me, where's the application?
Literally.
What are my
How does one get
qualifications?
hired?
How do I need to have the qualifications? Am I
What
out
are the
because I'm American? I have questions.
Good question.
You're
I
right. That probably
promise I
does
will
disqualify
answer
me.
all the questions you've ever wanted.
Literally.
Just don't exclude me because I'm American, please.
You can have my fingerprints. You can have whatever you need, buddy. Just get me to that
Give you
island.
12 liters of blood.
Literally. You can have my left kidney. I don't care.
We're all wanting to leave right now, please.
Oh, fuck. See, didn't live on Cat Island. Fucking amazing. I don't know how I stumbled across that a while ago, but I did. And I was like, this is a job.
Yeah, I'll
This
be
is the
doing more
best
research.
job. It's the best job ever.
I
Live on
think
an island, take care of cats, get paid for it. Like, come on.
I mean, socialize with the cats. I do that for free here. I pay to do that.
Exactly. You get paid to do that?
I've been sitting here admiring your like cat gymnastic on your wall the
Yeah.
entire time we've been talking. It's amazing.
Simon's up
Oh,
there knocked out. There's actually 2 more pieces that I haven't put up yet because I don't know. This wall isn't as big as my walls in like my previous apartment, so I don't know if I want to like bring it up over the door. You can't see because of the light, but like there's a door right there, so I don't know if I want to bring it up over there or like round it around the corner up here. So I'm indecisive, so it's just nothing's happened.
That's fair.
But they love it. They love their wall.
I bet they do.
Yeah, it's good for zoomies.
Yep.
oh.
But I think as we come back to topic per usual with us, as we've discussed cats and living on an island, as like, I don't know, lots of people are like, there's an island I can live on? It's not the Epstein Island? Yes, there's lots of
Oh,
them.
jeez. Yeesh.
But yes, much better island. It has cats. Much better island.
Ooh.
By leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds better island. Woo! All right. I've made all kinds of fucked up jokes tonight.
I know, man. And so many people went so many places with that one, though. Yikes.
Welcome to my sense of humor.
Right. That's great.
Oh, all right. Really, at the end of the day, guys, the thing is really in being able to discuss this, there are ways of being able to navigate loneliness in general.
Yes.
And I really think that's the biggest piece of like recognizing what it is you're looking for and then moving through with that. And if you can identify that, like, maybe the thing you're looking for isn't being met, then maybe you have to readjust what that is you're looking for, right? and just reevaluate the circumstances, right? It's good to have standards and boundaries, but at the same time, if we're not connecting with the people we want to connect with, then we need to assess why, what barriers are happening, what's getting in the way, right? Is it time? Is it money? Is it energy? Is it location? Is it, I just don't fucking know how. Um, and to that end, I know last week's um episode was on the new app that came out on friending. So just really knowing like that's an option too if you want to make friends. So like there's just things here that you can do of like what's the approach. But if you aren't getting the results you were looking for, then reassessing, you don't have to give up on the goal. Just reassess, how do I achieve not feeling lonely anymore? And the answer is always going to be you have to go talk to people. That's
Yeah.
always going to be the answer. So if that's the barrier, then, we got to figure that out. And
You have to want to.
yeah, 100%. So, any final thoughts, ladies?
Um, for me, I think it would be to really look deep inside yourself. And it goes back to what you're saying about what it is that you need, what it is you want, what you're looking for, and whether or not your loneliness is loneliness versus a deep existential loneliness, something that goes even further. And whether or not there is a depression, that is underlying that, something, that could be more than just loneliness. And if that's the case, having, reaching out, looking, getting some assistance for that. Because sometimes loneliness is loneliness, and sometimes loneliness is also colored by something else on top of it.
Big facts. Big facts.
Absolutely. And I do think also what you said, Eileen, like it's important to try and fight that loneliness, even when it's something that's really hard to do. Um, and I know that like that's easier said than done, but even when you're feeling anxious or you're feeling whatever you're feeling about the situation, embarrassed to be, that's maybe a me feeling. I'm embarrassed to be alive, but I've learned that embarrassment is a choice, and it's a choice I continue to make. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm working on it. Um, but
Secondhand embarrassment.
but whatever that feeling is, trying to work through that and fight through that to figure out what's going to kind of fix your loneliness is super important. And trying to find whatever happiness looks like for you
Yes.
and that fulfillment.
And if that's an island of cats, you should take a number because Bree's going first.
Yes. And if I find out you go first, we're having beef.
Big words.
Mm.
Big words are happening.
Once again, Red Bull, we're coming for you for the blue.
Yeah, you're number one up there. Don't you forget it.
Listen, I really need to know, why is it every time companies produce something and you like it, it's the first thing they remove from their menu?
Red Bull is
I'm talking
notorious
to
for
you,
doing that.
Red Bull and Taco Bell
Literally.
specifically. Like, what motherfuckers is that shit? Oh, do you want a taco salad? Good for you. We're never making it again. Oh, what's on the menu? A mini taco salad. Bitch, where's my regular taco salad?
Who
Because it
wants a
keeps
mini
coming
anything?
back for
Going to
more.
Taco Bell.
It's intermittent reinforcement schedule.
Bitch, it's stupid. Give me my shit and keep it on the menu.
It makes me not want to buy Red Bull at all anymore though. So like I feel like they're really screwing themselves over because now I don't even want to associate myself with Red Bull.
Exactly, but when they finally bring it back, you're gonna be like, "Ooh, oh my God!"
Well, I know supply and demand and blah, blah, blah. But listen, bitches, just keep it. We like
Uh-huh.
it.
Uh-huh.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Looking at you, Red
Mini,
Bull Taco Bell.
mini taco salad. Do you know, I mean, it was delicious, but I've really been wanting a taco salad for 100 years since they lost it because nobody else has a really good taco salad fast food wise. And so I was really, really excited, but it's the miniest taco salad I've ever seen in my life. So they weren't kidding when they said mini taco salad, BT dubs.
I haven't had it yet. I've been waiting for McDonald's to bring back their pizza since I was a child.
McDonald's had pizza?
They did.
Sounds gross.
I
No,
was in Arizona as a child, and Burger King sold tacos there.
What
Did
the
they?
hell?
Yeah, it was so weird to me.
You know, McDonald's in Guam sells like spam and rice.
See,
Ooh, they
so
probably do
weird.
in Hawaii too. I love Spam. Spam burger,
Spam is good.
hamburger.
So fucking weird. I was like, why does Burger King have tacos?
Yeah, that is odd. It's literally in the name that it's just burgers.
It was such
And
a
they're
weird thing
pink.
to me that it stuck out all these years later. So, but on that note, as we digressed once again, next week is interview with Noah May. He's a journalist and he discusses with us his journey with mental health and how he's gotten where he's got, which is super exciting. So look forward to that. As usual, everybody, we appreciate you hanging out. Give us a listen, share, like, follow, find us on Substack or wherever else it is you listen to your podcasts. We're super excited that you guys continue to hang out and that, you're sharing with everybody and this continues to grow. So again, we appreciate that. Give us some likes or some comments, all the good stuff. And ladies, I appreciate you being here with me.
Always.
Always,
All
always.
right. On that note, I'm going to find the button that says stop recording because they've changed everything on Zoom. Thanks for listening to another episode of Unwinding with Support Group. Follow us on Substack. Give us a like, a follow. Give us a comment. Tell us what you hated, what you like, what you want us to talk about next. Let everybody know where they can find us too. But thanks for hanging out with us once again.